Hello, my name is Troy Beans with 78freethrows.com. You know, I don't know if you're like me, but every once in a while you see it on Facebook or you get an email or something and somebody has a short video to watch and you don't have time to watch them all. Hey, you're watching mine right now, so I appreciate that. But I've seen a couple different videos recently that I found very fascinating that have to do with Photoshop. And one was a picture of Morgan Freeman. I don't know if you've seen that, but someone took an iPad and they looked at a picture of Morgan Freeman and they recreated that picture on their iPad, completely done electronically. And you can't tell the difference. It looks exactly like a real photograph. And you go, wow, it's amazing, it's incredible what can go on with technology. And then we see those videos that come through that show what goes on with Photoshop, with female models especially. And a lot of people get really upset about these because they present a female, a beauty that a female supposedly is supposed to have that is completely unattainable. I mean, they lengthen the neck, they add hair to the head, they lengthen the legs, they take fat away from here, add it to there. I mean, they just transform this person into something that there's virtually no possible way they could do that on their own. And we look at the eating disorders that women have and all the frustrations that go on with that, and it's tragic. I mean, people die. It's not a good thing. So, yeah, there's some cool things that can go on with Photoshop. There's some things that go on that maybe really aren't so good. I'm going to make I have an interesting perspective on this. And I'm going to tell you that God invented Photoshop. And before you start throwing stuff at me, let me explain that God invented Photoshop. And here's how. Young man sees a young girl across the room, and for whatever reason, that particular girl just grabs his attention. And it's like, wow, she's the one I want to be with. And that doesn't happen that way for every guy, but at some point in time in a relationship, we just don't want to be without this young lady. She's young, she's beautiful, she's has all those things that we want in a young lady. And then you see these men who've been married to someone for 40, 50 years. And I'll tell you, it's amazing this day and age how young women are still looking well into their 50s, 60s, and 70s. Some of them it's shocking how well they've taken care of themselves, different things. However, they're not what they were when they were 22. There's no way they're going to be what they were when they were 22. But when you talk to their husband at 80 sees them as more beautiful than he ever saw them at 22. And you think, okay, that's love, that's crazy. No, that's built into us. And let me explain. Neuroscience is starting to understand a lot of things. And one of the things that's just very obvious is that females desire to be with one man. And how can I say that? Well, for years in my classes, I would ask girls, I'd say, how many of you don't care if your boyfriend checks out other girls? I remember one time in 20 years of teaching did I have a girl raise her hand and say, oh yeah, I don't care. It's okay. He can do what he wants. No, that is built into the female psyche. They desperately want to be loved and cherished by one person. So how does Photoshop figure into all this? When a couple reaches the point where they decide they're going to be monogamous with each other. And in my opinion, it's best to wait until they're married. You're monogamous, you start having sex. What brain research shows that when you have an orgasm, your brain is flooded with hormones. And one of the things that does, it in essence takes a picture of what's right in front of you and bonds you so strongly to what's right in front of you. Well, that's your spouse. Then the attraction you had for them goes up big time. And as you continue to do that, the brain creates a bonding that goes, they find it goes deeper and deeper into the brain. And monogamous couples have this bonding, this picture. So as this female over the years changes, her husband's brain, in essence, is photoshopping what's going on. No, she doesn't look like she did when she's 22, when she's 50, when she's 60, when she's 70, when she's 80. But the Lord built Photoshop into his brain. And he continually is attracted to what's in front of him. And she's more and more beautiful than she ever was before. So you females out there, when you think, man, I just don't look like I did, how can my husband appreciate who I am? It's built into him to think you are absolutely the most beautiful woman on the planet. That's Photoshop. God put it into us. That's amazing. That's powerful. Yeah, Photoshop with a camera can be used in ways that really aren't good. But the Photoshop God created in your head is incredibly powerful. It's incredible how God created us and made us not only to love and bond with each other, but actually to love and bond with him. Have a great day. Talk to you soon.